Good morning, good afternoon, good night from Ubud in Bali. How is everyone? Now, the last week has been triggering for many divine feminines. A lot of you, including me, if you watched my last week's live, you saw fresh off the press triggering, okay? And the last week has been triggering for a lot of divine feminines, So if it has been triggering for you, write down in the comment how the last week has been. For me, the last 2 days have been quite interesting. So I moved on yesterday from Canggu to Ubud. In Canggu, you saw my amazing apartment. I loved it. And I had this other apartment, villa actually, in Ubud that I had booked. It was the last day of the ancestral festival. I had a Kundalini class that morning, and I had a Kundalini class the week before, and I learned a lot about the DMs, about the readiness, which I'm going to talk about today, okay? But basically, the driver was late 2 hours, and then we got to the apartment late, and I had clients back to back, because believe it or not only do I have a regular job, like most of y'all, I have the social media, I have the clients, and I'm traveling. It's not easy, all the moving parts, And then I'm going for healings and sessions, and tomorrow I've got a 10 a.m. healing session, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, we got to this place, and it didn't look like the pictures. It was an Airbnb, and I should have checked the reviews. And you're very tired, and the guys dropped me off. Bless his heart, divine feminines, everyone helps out, right? So he's picking up the luggage and the suitcase up all these bloody steps to take us up to this villa. And it just didn't look like how it was in the pictures. And then he left me there, and I had a client, and then I started unpacking a little bit, like the kitchen stuff I had bought, and there were just ants everywhere. There was cockroaches, and I was spending a lot of money for that place for the month, and there was lots of like mold everywhere and smell of that, and downstairs had no air conditioning, and I'm like, I want to be like finalizing my book, and I got my clients, I'm doing my new series, and I just need a tranquil space because I work so much, in the UK, like I have family and other people always dragging me here and there and everywhere. So it's my own space to be with myself. But I just couldn't handle being in that place, if I'm honest with you. And yes, as sometimes, just put up with it. But you have to think about what honors you most, And I told the host, and then I went to the gym, and I went out, and I just had to get out of the apartment. I couldn't unpack no more. It was smelling as well and everything. And it was just all dirty as well, all the plates and stuff that were in the cupboards. Like I had to wash everything before using it, and it was just not for me. So I contacted Airbnb, and I got a refund straight away. And the host also agreed and let me off very easily. So easily, like it was so simple, And she was like, when are you moving tomorrow? And it was 1 a.m. and I posted something and I fell asleep. I passed out. And the next morning, which was this morning today, I had back-to-back clients, and I learned a lot from them too, which I'll talk about today. And I hadn't found a place. So I was like kind of stressing, but I surrendered. And all of a sudden I found a place called Third Eye House, which is where we're at. And it's going to be part of our life as well. So I'll show you around a little bit. It's a beautiful place. Amazing. It's amazing. And as I got here, like they got me flowers as well. And the woman who owns it's an Australian woman, and she does healing work, and she's going to do some healing on me and stuff or whatever else. But anyway, she never gives flowers. And the last time she gave flowers was when it was a honeymoon couple, right? And she got one of the people to go and get me flowers. And I wanted to get flowers after my birthday in this apartment too, this villa. So they got me flowers, and they took care of me, and it was so beautiful. So after all the triggering, if you stay in love, and this place is like very much so like lovers, like a villa or something. It's so interesting. So let me see if I can turn this around. I'm going to show you around. Oh, not request to join. Let's turn it around. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is a salt pool, plunge pool, bath, swimming pool, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but it's beautiful. So, last time I did the video of the place, I'm doing it live now. Let's have a look. So we're going to start from the beginning, and let's go outside, and then I'll get into the nitty gritty. I just think it's nice. We have poor connection. It's working now. We all deserve the best, and we should not put up with less than what we deserve. And we are in that energy of our divine self. So this is the front door, and I got myself a nice scooter as well. So let's have a look. So as you can see, it's third eye. It's a huge villa. It's a 2-bed, and my place in Canggu was a 2-bed, and the horrible place was 1-bed. So I don't know. I just got 2-bed. So this is third eye. It's a little bit more than the place in Ubud, but cheaper than Canggu. And as you come in, this is the yoga room, the meditation room, whatever you want to call it. And I've got all my incense here. And you can do, there's a singing bowl. Let's do a little. Okay. And there's all these tarot cards that she left out for me. And then in these drawers, from the healer that I saw in Ubud, I put this like rose petal thing on my crown, third eye, and throat chakra every day, and I do all the stuff that he asks me to do. There's on my incense, and I've been manifesting a temple in my house. This is all my herbal teas, got loads of herbal teas and stuff, whatever, and in this one too. But the place that I had in Ubud, the family next door had a temple, and I'll post a picture of the amazing statues. But I wanted a temple of my own, and honey, I got my own temple. So this is a salt water sort of pool. I'm thinking where my shoes are gone. This is a salt water pool. Let me get my shoes again. So it's like specifically made, and she's left all these sort of like incense and like essential oils and stuff. And so that's the kitchen and the living room. So nice. And then, so I wanted to like, in Bali, what they do is they all have these like altars and temples, right? And every day they're like basically putting the incense. So I'll put the incense on there as well today. I've got these really nice incense holders. Let me show you. I think it's finished now. Of Buddha's hand. So beautiful. And I love it. So we can pray. And you know, when I went to my Kundalini class, it's been the 10 days with the ancestors, and basically the ancestors visited me. I think Balinese ancestors visited me. It was interesting. We'll talk about it. This is one of the bedrooms. We have the ambient light on. I love it. It's really nice. And that's my table. I'll probably put it by this window. You've got a garden out there. It's so gorgeous. There's a nice statue out there. I'll show you that too. And everything in this place is third eye, right? So, and she's done light language and healing here. So it's supposed to open your third eye. This is one of my closets. One of my bathrooms is open. It's outside. Okay. So I'm just trying to say that things work out if you stay in alignment and people help you out, right? And you will be getting the princess treatment, the goddess treatment. You will get the flowers, and you will get the taxi driver picking everything up for you, and you will be able to get a nicer place so you don't put up with less than you deserve, okay? So that's what we got. And let me show you the last room. I want to show you, so there's a beautiful Buddha statue there. After this live, I'm going to be doing I'm having cacao right now, but I'm going to be doing some rapé and mapachu and some plant medicine, and then I'm going to be diving into the salt pool. And we have a nice Buddha statue here. Okay, it's beautiful in the daytime. I know it's night now. And that's the kitchen. It's so nice. I love it. I love Bali. You should come. So we're having cacao here, people. There's cacao. There's incense burning. That's the Buddha hand. And she left all these beautiful cups here. And she's left loads of different things. And so this is like herbal teas to have and how to have them for healing, for your third eye. She's left all these little potions and stuff and whatever else. And, you know, I just love it. I think it's so nice. Sorry, I left my fridge open. And then also this is the other bedroom. It's so beautiful. And it's air conditioned, people. The other place was not, well, upstairs was, but it was just horrible and moldy. But look, the bathrooms. She's left all these sort of like Epsom salts. This is a second bathroom. My underwear's drying anyway. But she's left all these like salts and things, and that's the outside. Yeah, so that's that. Sorry. Come back to reality and let's talk about you lot, because you might not even give a shit about my life and what I'm doing. You only care about your divine masculine and when is union happening, and I'm dying and I want to know a bit about him, and union's not happening because I'm not happening. So Someone says, have you got barley belly? No, I did not, thankfully. I did eat, I went to a very fancy restaurant actually with that Australian Divine Feminine, and I had steak. And oh my God, I had it medium rare, and you should, in these countries, you're meant to have it apparently medium or well done. So it did give me a little bit of pain actually for a little while, for a night and a day. But then I went to see that healer, the one who gave me all those oils and teas and, you know, who read the future of my twin flame and all that kind of stuff. As soon as he touched my stomach, it went. It was so amazing. So yeah, we are having cacao. And we're going to start. But I want to show you also the rapé and the sananga. I'll show you that later, hopefully if I have time. All right. So done the tour. The last week has been hard for many of us, okay? There has been a cyclical revisiting of patterns so we can peel them off. And it is all to do with childhood issues. So if you haven't watched my last week's live, where I went back to my old tricks and I let rip, maybe I shouldn't have done. I felt a little bit bad, but a lot of forgiveness was done and a lot of healing was happened for both me and my twin. So basically, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and the readiness. So when in my first Kundalini class that I had done last week, I felt resistance. I felt fear of the Kundalini awakening again, fear of all that destruction and trauma happening. Unconsciously, that's what the DMs feel. Okay, so we have that suppressed and buried within us, and sometimes we act as though we are so amazing and ready, but deep in the depths of our soul, in the shadows, that's what they feel, and they feel the not readiness, and they also feel coming to us like, is it going to bring up stuff, drag up stuff, and off all of humanity, like a lot of us, like we don't want to feel pain, and we don't want to visit pain, and we don't want to go there. It's not nice. And we say we're the conscious twin and we're also amazing, but we still have within the depths of our soul things and shadows that kind of are lurking, which is what the DM is mirroring. Okay. And my second Kundalini class, which was yesterday morning, I was kind of like focusing on the whole thing about abuse and abuser following last week's live. So in last week's live, I talked about the gay guy from Italy who's quite well to do, who abused my twin flame, and my twin flame keeps going back to him to do his photos, right, for contracts or whatever else. And why is that? So I've had reflection about why people go back to abusive patterns. We do it too. But with everything, like Abraham Hicks talks about, everything is, the topic is a stick. Imagine this is a stick, but it's either the having of it or the not having of it. So the runner, the chaser, the abuser, the abused, the one who abandoned, and the one who was the abandoning person. Okay, so the topic and the core wound is always the same, and that's why whenever I've done posts before about, like, for example, why twin flames hurt each other, those who are not twin flames or those who are in ego or in pain, they don't understand it. They think it's trauma bonding, it's karmic, it's not great. Yeah. But us as twin flames, twin flames, we understand it completely, especially if you've done inner work and you're not in bypassing, right? So with twin flames, in separation is where you understand what your DM does and they understand what you do, and you telepathically, internally forgive and learn from it, okay? So true twin flames will always understand completely, if they do introspective work, why the DM behaves the way they do. And the DM will also realize why you behave the way you do after a while. But the DFs need, if you're true DFs, you will fully get it. You won't be able, that's why you can't hate them for that long, because you understand them on a deep level, deep layer. Other people can't understand it. And as you heal that and you understand it, you shed that layer of trauma and you feel even more love for your twin flame. There's so much forgiveness and so much more openness and vulnerability for them, as opposed to pain, hatred, and anger, which is what happens with soulmates and karmics, right? With twin flames, you can never hate because you understand fully, because they are you. They are fully you. Now, I'll take questions later. So they are fully you. Everyone is fully you, obviously, too, because we are all one. And whatever you do to another is done on to you. And that's where the karma is interplaying. So as twin flames, it's very important that we are very compassionate, loving, and kind to all, and understanding that they are in their distortion or they are in their trauma. And even though we may reject it and say we are perfect and we are Saraswati and we are Goddess Isis and whatever else you want to call yourself, we have shadow aspects. And when the twin flame or even others display that and it triggers us, there is elements within us. Now, sometimes we will say, oh no, Manny, it's not possible. But think about it. We have been in existence for infinity, right? How many lifetimes? Ancestral, lineage, karma, humanity's issues and distortions. There's all that going on. With our conscious mental brain, we're not able to always pinpoint, oh, it happened when I was 6 years old. Maybe it happened 6,000 years ago. And that's what's being purged. Maybe that's what the DM is mirroring, okay? So whatever they do show, us as the conscious twin, it's very important that we just stay, if we can, as possible, or we jump back up from, So I had the live on Sunday and I was not great, but then I jumped back up from it. But we need to be able to understand that somewhere within us there's this. Has to be, if it's a twin flame. So we love, accept, integrate, and let it go. We don't react, okay? So the whole thing about the abuse and the abuser. So where does that come from? Okay. So my childhood, my father was very abusive, right? And some of you might have had abusive people in your life, maybe partners or family members. And we were brought up in my family to just brush it under the carpet and carry on being nice to your father or whoever else, carry on being kind. And therefore you put up with it. And this is where the DM will mirror that and keep putting up with abusive people too, whether it's karmics or gay photographer contract givers who sexually abuse you or have done so. Okay. So that's why the mirroring is so particular and deep. Sometimes you won't be able to even understand where it comes from because it could be lifetimes. So you love it, you integrate it, you accept it, you let it go. You don't allow it to be such a huge thing where you rejecting it. Just accept it somewhere along the line, somewhere in the lineage, somewhere on the humanity spectrum. Otherwise, I wouldn't be triggered. Otherwise, what that man is doing or that woman is doing will not trigger me. But because it's triggering me, there's something inside. So as a beggar, I accept it, I let it go. Yeah? So if the DM isn't ready, then it means that we aren't either. And you can assess that. And I assessed it a while back, and I spoke to someone, a client, was it yesterday or today? And we were talking as well. If your DM was to come back right this second, how do you feel? Do you feel anxious and unprepared and panicked? Or do you feel peaceful and loving and centered? Because that's your level of readiness. That's your level of readiness. And from your conscious mind, you may be thinking, oh, yes, I am ready. But like doing techniques such as breathwork, plant medicine, or even Kundalini activations, when those things are coming up, are you suffocating yourself? Are you getting frozen? Are you getting triggered? Are you reacting? Because that means you're not ready then, are you? So why do people go back to their abusers, whether it's karmics or other people? It's childhood mirrors. It's all to do with wounds, okay? Father, mother, etc. So Abraham Hicks, like I said, talks about two ends of the same stick, and it's mirrored, the abuser and the abused. And that's why you, as a twin flame, always understand your twin flame fully, because there's some remnants of something. It could be not the exact same thing, but mirrored opposite. Abuser, abused, for example. Avoidant and anxious. All that kind of stuff. But it all comes from the core wounding. Who are we accepting abuse from? So, for example, me staying in that moldy place with insects and cockroaches, as I open the cupboards, the cockroaches are flying at me. If I had stayed in that place, that would have been me accepting an abusive situation, right? Because I'm paying a lot of money and I'm staying in a place that is infested and it's not good for my well-being. Better still, jump ship and come to a villa, So The same thing, we accept abuse from karmics and marriages and parents, sometimes even the DM. And they're teaching us not to do that, you know, and also not to be an abuser. This incessant desire to understand everything about the past. And the DMs don't want to talk about the past and what they've done. They're ashamed. They feel embarrassed. We may be crossing boundaries, you know. Sometimes we also have shadows and various ways and distorted ways of behaving, being manipulative with others and whether partners or perspective interests, love interests. And therefore, we need to be very aware as well, energetically and emotionally, what we are mirroring to our DM and what they mirror back to us. Okay? So people go back into abusive situations for all sorts of reasons. They don't feel good enough. They don't feel worthy. That's safety for them. It also could be power, connections, powerful circles, as in the case of my DM, and not feeling they can get successful alone, needing someone to hold on to, familiar, something familiar, like childhood. Maybe it feels like you deserve the abuse, you know? Think about those people who've had power over you, maybe male or female, abuse from childhood, neglect, you know, strong authority figures pushing your feelings aside to get you along with them, so you get along with them. You put aside your feelings. You eat them up, even though you're in pain. You know, I grew up in a violent household, so that was constant. We had to push aside all that nonsense that was happening and just play happy families. Now, with your twin flame, all that shit gotta go. All that shit gotta go. It's a very deep cleansing. So when people are constantly saying, when is he coming back? And when is a union? It's like you're going through a deep purification process. Don't worry, it will end. It will end. It's not like we're keeping you on a loop here to say, you know, stringing you along with false hope. It will end. Your liberation will happen as long as you keep staying in alignment and letting go and trusting. Whether union will happen or not is to do with the soul contract. But next year is really, really a good time. But all these old patterns from childhood, but also other lifetimes, ancestry and humanity, it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly. Accept it, integrate it, love it, let it go. The DM does stuff, and they get triggered too by us. Just accept it. Like I said, non-twin flames will never understand this because they think we're balmy and crazy and loopy. I was speaking to a twin flame friend earlier, and she was like, they just don't get it. You know, they don't get it. But forgive and resolve. There's no need for words. There's no need for words, and there's no need to bring up the past or actually resolve. And that's why the weaving happens, because the DM comes back in and the DF straight away, you rat bastard, blah, 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 expecting and all that kind of stuff. It's all an inner resolution. It's all an inner resolution. You'll be like, oh, it's so tough. It is tough. But with soulmates, you're coasting and perpetuating each other's trauma abuse still. It still continues, whereas the twin flame is purging it out of you, and you do the same for them. That's a bigger gift, actually, than actually having the union, to be honest. Anyway, now, if you have patterns like this, circular, that have been triggering you this week, revisitations, and you're like, why is it happening again? Are you addicted to highs and lows? My twin flame, in a way, is with this photographer guy, because it reflects mother wounds and father wounds about being put on a pedestal, taken off a pedestal, put in the spotlight, taken off the spotlight. And the DMs, they do play out these scenarios with karmics and other people. We do too, to a lesser extent. But understand what they're doing with those people is playing out, because they're unconscious, right? They will have their karma, but they won't understand where it came from or why it happened. Whereas we are conscious twin. So we will always be able to understand, oh shit, it was because last week I did this, you know? So they will be, the universe is so amazing and divine. It brings the exact lesson for them to work through, and they work through it in the physical. We do sometimes too, but they are working through it. So let them. And When we have too much of a hold on them, they are mine and this is it. Of course, you are one, it's fine, but they have to purge themselves and let go of all the lifetimes of issues for themselves, humanity, and their ancestry, right? And you've got to let them do it the way in which they got to do it. It is messy. And you've got to do it for yourself in the way that you got to do it, rather than thinking it's a big task. And rather than saying, oh, he ain't ready and why can't he do it this way? He's got to do it the way he's got to do it. He or she or they got to do it the way they got to do it. Okay? And it's messy. And they're unconscious. So they're bumbling around, fumbling around, learning their lessons stupidly. We sometimes do too. So all of these karmics are actually giving them mirrors of their childhood. And for us as well, if we have those. Spirit makes no mistakes. It's generational healing and catalyst. So that takes time. It takes time, okay? And you're like, oh, how long does it take? It's getting faster. But if they're not ready, it means both of you are not ready because you're one consciousness and they're reflecting the shadow aspects most of the time. So your consciousness is not ready yet. It's not done. It's not purged fully. And as it will continue to do those things, when it stops triggering you, you know you're at the end. You know you're getting there. Yeah? Again, it's all divine timing. Because there's so many air bubbles and kinks that have to be ironed out and released. They have to be released. All right. So a lot of the DMs, and DFs too, but a lot of the DMs especially were broken in childhood. Kneecapped, undermined, you could say as dark forces or soul lessons. But they end up having a very childlike mentality, very innocent, pure, but stupid, and told that they will never succeed, never be able to do this. So they have loads of fears that they are releasing as well. Okay. Now you'll have your own too. You'll have your own too, but it's always mirrored. It's always mirrored. So think of it as us as human beings. We are not always the same. We are going up and down, different things every day. But for us, DFs, because we have our third eye open, like this house, third eye villa, we get the backlash straight away and we feel it more. And I did a live about that, why DFs are held to a higher standard. Yeah. But we have to learn to stay in 0 point and not get triggered. Otherwise, the DMs, they feel like they have power over us. And we do too as well. If we trigger them, we're like, haha, at times. So we need to stay rooted like the Buddha, not insecure, and accept everything, love it, forgive it, let it go, and love deeply. You know, you might say, oh, why should I accept everything? That's abuse. Well, in the sense, like, for example, the old villa I was in with just where I came from, where there was all the rats, there were no rats, all the insects and stuff and all the stuff. I accepted that this is the situation, but then I chose not to stay there. So you can accept that, okay, the DMs, where they're at, but it doesn't mean you have to stay with them. You know, you can take a step back. You can also even cause a separation if you need. You know, you want them to come ready, but they need time for that. So that's that. I'll do some questions now. But let me summarize and I'll talk about Bali because only 1 or 2 spaces left. So if you keep saying the DM's not ready, your joint consciousness is not ready. Otherwise you would be together. Okay, and it's all divine timing. It's lifetimes of stuff and you don't even know where it's coming from. So it's very easy to be on your high horse and say, I've done yoga, meditation, I'm ready to go. But deep in your unconscious, subconscious mind, there are those elements. There are those elements. I know some of you, when I talk about plant medicine, are shit scared of it. And it's like, but then you're saying that you're ready for union, which is fine. But like, what are you scared of then? The depths of your soul are there. You know, you shouldn't be scared of it. But yeah, it's a lot. But even when you are in union and you are together, there will be triggers happening and little bits and things, and you might blame again, but try not to. Try to remember that God knows where this is coming from, what lifetime or what ancestry or human distortion is being released. I lovingly, like a beggar, accept it, love it, and let it go. It will peel away. The DMs don't stay stuck in that nonsense. If you react and get triggered, they keep doing it until you are no longer, and then they change. And you do too change, okay? So it's okay to get triggered, but get back on your horse and know that when the DM is ready, usually you are ready, but sometimes you run. And that means still both of you are not ready. But eventually you'll be ready. And it's okay. What's the rush? Oh, I'm getting old, Manny. I need to have children. I need to do this. I don't think that's the lifetime you've chosen, my loves. This lifetime is different. It's a different life. It's a different life you've chosen. Okay. So at Basundari, we have 11 rooms. Okay. So me and the shaman will either share or have a room each. That leaves 9 or 10 rooms. And most people, no, every person has opted to have their own room. So we've had 8 people pay, which leaves 1 or 2 rooms. And we have 2 people who have confirmed but haven't paid. So those 2 slots are still open right now. So if you want to come to Bali retreat, come. A lot of people are staying a few days before and a week after or so, and I'll be hanging out with them as well. So you get to hang out and have a good time. So it's happening from the 23rd to the 29th of January. You get the whole center in Ubud. It's amazing. It's beautiful energy. Pick up and drop off from the airport, fully supported by the team. The 11 rooms, en suite, the yoga shala, relaxation, sauna, spa, ice bath, daily breakfast, lunch and dinner, organic, homemade cookies, snacks, fruits, teas, coffees, Balinese coffee in the room, 15-minute head massage, shoulder, foot massage, 60-minute Balinese massage, welcome ceremony by a priest, which is very beautiful, with the tirtha, holy water. Then we do a tour of the island, going to different temples and purifications and forests and plantations. And then you have the coaching calls with me before, during, and after. Daily yoga meditation. And then the shamanic healing, of course. Cacao, rapé, sananga, mushrooms, and mapachu. So this is the cacao, but we'll give you probably a bigger dose. And let me just show you quickly, if I can. In South America, it's slightly different. Here, the mapachu, here it's slightly different. The one I got, but it's good. So I'm going into my fridge right now. So this is mapachu, and it's sacred tobacco. So we roll it up into, you can have it different ways. You can drink it too, but we roll it up into cigarettes. And then you smoke it in order to be able to let go of anything you're holding on to, actually. And I've been smoking it a lot to let go of last week's live, actually. But then also rapé, which I've never administered to myself. And let me tell you some private information, maybe. I will tell you some private stuff. Okay, so this is how you could administer it to yourself. You go, blow it there, but you put it to your nose. And so you put a bit of the rapé, which is like tobacco and various other things inside of it, and it clears you of all negativity. So the mapachu is for forgiveness. This is clearing all the negativity in all the energy bodies, and it clears the mind and gives you lots of information. And then also the cacao is for a heart opener, right? Now, I don't know if you remember, and I haven't mentioned this, but I am going to mention it now. Why not? Last December, when I did eyeball gain, God spoke to me and said, union or job. And I chose union. And then God said, this year, union will happen and then no job. And I was like, no, because I lost my job before in the beginning of my twin flame awakening. And I was in and out of hospital and all sorts. It was terrible. But that's when the spiritual social media started, ironically. Anyway, so I've been told to do all these things, right? And start retreats and do social media and all this. And I never wanted to do any of it. And here we are doing it all the time. So I have been thinking about becoming a shaman, maybe. We'll see if that happens. It might happen, because as soon as I arrived in Bali the next day, I got an email from work saying my job is on the line. I might be losing my job. Reason being because I work in the charity sector and the non-profit sector, and money is being tightened for war instead of being invested in helping the planet and people. So jobs are under the line, and especially I work in diversity and inclusion, which is anti-racism and discrimination. That's kind of like, on the line too. So because the West is Wild West right now, and things are absolutely collapsing as they are meant to in the age of Aquarius. So I might be losing my job. I mean, the psychic and the tarot reader, people that I've met here, have said I won't be, But yes, I think next year I'll be doing more retreats, like I said I was going to do. But I had, whilst I was doing Rapé, vision that I might be going to South America next year, maybe staying in the jungles, maybe working in retreats and learning to be a shaman. We'll see. My life is a little wild anyway, like the things that happen, we'll see. So, yeah, that's interesting. So, with the medicine, you get a lot of insights and a lot of cool things happen. Yeah. But on the journey, anything not in alignment will fall away. Okay. The workplace I work in, there is a lot of toxicity as well. But in the DM's life, that happens too, and your lives too. So if you are not doing your purpose, you'll be pushed. And if you are doing your purpose, God may push you further into it and say you're going to do more of that and less of the other. So let's see any questions. I think a lot of you are having fun. Hopefully you're having fun. I mean, we've got to start to love and enjoy ourselves and each other. Wow, good morning. It's nighttime here. So, oh, God knows it's so late and I need to go to bed. I need to smoke my stuff and sniff my stuff and jump in the salt pool and maybe have a salt bath and then go to bed. But I've got healing tomorrow. Anyway, all right, let's have a look. Was waiting for your live. Good afternoon. Oh my God, third party date night pick. Ouch. It's a trigger for a reason. I'm sorry that you had to experience that, but it's going to clear everything. I have been doubting everything, rather wanted to die. Bless you. So you have been going through lots of triggers, haven't you? Doubt and doubt. Doubting what? What are you doubting? Bali. Welcome to Bali. Bali's amazing. Love it. Love Bali. Yes, it was triggering. Was doing okay, and suddenly his energy, felt his anger, and had a dream that triggered sadness, fear of dying alone again, bubbled. Yeah, a lot of loneliness for people has been coming up actually. Gorgeous, beautiful. You deserve the best about the apartment. And also, I read a comment that people without kids can't be happy on a random video. That was another trigger. Well, I don't have kids right now, and I'm here by myself in a 2-bedroom villa. And I'm having the best time of my life. I tell you, I'm driving my scooter and I'm laughing my head off. And I'm not really talking to many people. I'm not one of those people who I'm actually an introvert. You might not think that, but I actually am. And I'm not really out there when I go out and stuff. I think my DM is much more so. But I'm happy. Like, why can't we be happy? And I'm just laughing on the scooter so badly. Why can't we be just happy, you know? Happy in ourselves. I don't know. Is cacao drink a herbal drink that needs initiation? Very good. So it's a plant medicine, right? So it's mother cacao. Before I started, it's my second cup. We do an intention, right? We speak to mother cacao and we ask for an intention. Whether you want to heal something or you want to learn something. And right now I'm only having two cups, but with the Ryan, when I did it with Ryan, he gave me a whole pot of it to drink. And I'll tell you, it was hallucinogenic. So there we go. And the thing is, the question about the barley belly is, you got to understand, I have lived and worked. I used to work for the UN. I have lived and worked in many places. So I feel like my stomach is very strong, actually. I lived in India for ages as well. And I'll tell you, India prepares you for the world. It really does. I thought South America was going to be hard, but it was a piece of cake. After you've done India and backpacked around that place, let's have a look. Okay, I just read someone's DM, punch them. What the hell? It shot up again. It shot up. The messages went up. I don't know why. All right, let's find. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, all right, let's sit. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Detachment is happening. It is a weird feeling. It's like I don't care anymore. It's weird. Well, you do care. It's a bullshit. So you don't care. Okay. Sometimes you want to reject and you feel like that. But actually, deep down, there's always love. There's always love, and there's always peace and forgiveness and joy and romance. It's always beautiful, always. But it's not obsessive. It's peaceful. That's where you want to get to. You don't want to be in anxious pain and obsessive. You want to be in peace and neutral, and getting on with your life. You want to be doing your purpose. You want to be going to the gym and whatever you want to do. You know, living your life and doing your things, and not having the DM constantly in your mind. And then they pop in and out sometimes, but not all the time. What do you do when the DM wants to have sex with you, but he has commitment issues? What do you do in that situation? So with everything, you act in the now. You don't overthink in the past or the future. You don't prophesize or theorize or plan out or organize what's going to happen, how's it going to happen. In each moment, do I want to have sex with him? In each moment, do I want to message him? In each moment, and without the thoughts, in the zero pointedness. If nothing will stop you and you're going to do it because that's meant to happen, and it's going to heal you or trigger you or help something grow. And you might be putting Shakti pack energy into your DM to help him go further. When the mind gets in the way, when the whole soulmate scenarios start playing and he should do this and he ain't doing that, it's you having sex with yourself anyway. That's what the DM is. It's you having sex with yourself. I say have sex with them as much as you can if you want. There's nothing wrong with it. If my DM was here, I want to leave him alone, honey. I'll be on him like there's no tomorrow. I wouldn't care about he has to commit or not commit. I remember the first 2 times, we only met twice, but the times we met my DM, I never like held on after we were done. It was like, yeah, whatever. You know, I wasn't like holding on to him like, don't leave, hug me, stay near to me. I was like, oh, do what you got to do. Okay. So don't have all these expectations and ideas and mind is all coming from trauma, ego. So do in the moment, Please tell I made it. Made it to where? Oh, you made the week. Should you let your DM follow you on Instagram if he is in a marriage and you don't want any breadcrumbs from him? That's the same answer, you know. At the end of the day, you want to get to a place. I remember when lockdown happened and COVID was happening, and I really had a quantum shift because I said, no matter what's happening in the world, I want to stay in peace and happiness, you know. And that's the level of mastery you want to be achieving. So it doesn't matter if they watch, you know, sometimes they can watch and learn from you, but it depends where you're at, you know. You don't want breadcrumbs, but you're still expecting then, aren't you? And then you're manifesting more of the breadcrumbs. When you don't really care about anything from outside of yourself and you're okay with what people are doing, you're letting everyone off the hook, including the DM, it doesn't matter what's happening. And then if you want to let him follow you, you can go give him a show on Instagram. Show him your amazing life if you want, not from ego though, from inspiration. Why DM abuses again and again, or what actually is he teaching? So the whole live that I talked about answered that. So hopefully you listened to the words that came out of my mouth at 1 a.m. in the morning when I got to get up early. And if you didn't, rewatch the live. Because I explained, if he's abusing you, there's somewhere within you that energy, attachment to being abused or being an abuser or having interacted with an abuse as a child that he's triggering. Just a mirror that you've got to stop fixating on him and go within. Accept it, love it, let it go. Accept it, love it, let it go. Stay in your power. And then, like I mentioned, if you don't want to stick around him, you get another villa that doesn't have cockroaches. If they're not ready, if they haven't cleaned their act up, if they haven't cleaned the villa, you don't have to stay there until it's ready. Hopefully that made sense. Can attest to this, the mirror. DFs aren't saints either. Accepting this will help us forgive everyone, including our twin flame, and let go of the anger. We are crazy bitches. Yes, we are. There we go. And it's okay to kind of like accept that and embrace it too. Embrace your madness. It's all right. Listen, that's what I don't. Sometimes people say to me, oh my God, I didn't mention this. There is one person who follows me who's annoying. Not only one annoying person, there's some. But this one, the one who mentioned once about me having my belly top and going traveling, and she's like, you got your belly button out and then traveling, and that's why your DM's not coming back. Anyway, you know my birthday video where I was blowing out the candle? She wrote a comment, and this woman, was the one saying that, oh, I'm showing my belly button, right? And then if you go onto her Instagram account, she's wearing bikinis and thongs and G-strings with her boobs out, and men are just writing sexual comments to her. So it's like, and I talked about this, like, you know, throwing stones from glass greenhouses. Like, who the hell are you trying to teach here? It's your own projections, woman. Anyway, She wrote about my video. She said, oh, you shouldn't be blowing a candle on your cake for your birthday because you're blowing out your own flame. What ridiculousness is that? And I had wrote on the caption, what did I write? I wrote on the caption, cheesy as fuck, right? I'm always trying to show you lot that I am not a saint. Sometimes, yes, I sit with a shawl, but sometimes in a gay club, sometimes in a strip club, or wherever I've gone, whatever I've done, you know, if you follow me, I am not a saint. I am trying to mix the dark with the light to alchemize it into wholeness without judgment. And in doing so, helping you could see the same as well, because you've got to be just as devilish as your twin flame and just as saintly as your twin flame. You've got to balance it. And a lot of the coaches just show you that one image of them being Saraswati, Isis goddess, and that they are perfect. And to achieve that level of perfection doesn't exist, and it makes you feel even more disempowered. Whereas I'll show you jumping in my salt water pool, smoking some plant medicine. You know, I am not perfect, and neither are you, and that's okay. And neither is the DM. And that's fine too. And the DM wants to see you in your flaws as well and authenticity, because otherwise your perfection and godliness and holiness will make them feel like they can never achieve that either, because they are not like that. So yes, we are crazy. Do I help to accelerate karmic collapse for DM if I choose to walk away from DM and the situation? DM is married. Yes, it helps with boundaries. It helps with choosing yourself, and you choose yourself, he'll choose himself. And you're also trusting him to be able to resolve it in his own time. You've got to believe in the power of God, because everything is divinely orchestrated. You don't have to be the manager. You just got to focus on yourself and let go. Why don't I feel like I love him like I used to? Because you're no longer obsessive. You're loving yourself, and that cloud9 business has gone away. So that's good. I feel when the DF ascends higher and higher, DM is going deeper slumber in the matrix. What happens is, in the beginning anyway, at least, so obviously they're high in their ego and craziness, and you're in the depths of hell, and then you rise and you do your purpose and your passions, and you start living this life, and the DM starts thinking, oh fuck, like she's actually happy now, and she's not just crying at home sitting on the floor. And then they feel like, oh, she's getting ahead, she or he or they or whatever, the DF is basically moving forwards, and I'm left behind. I'm sitting alone in my house, whereas DF is traveling the world, you know, or doing whatever. So that makes them feel really angry and frustrated and annoyed that your energy has gone, and they can go into depression and sadness, and then they get a kick up to want to be better and get improved. So they can go backwards a little bit, but then come back forwards. They do. My DM punched me. Does this mean he's not my twin flame? I'm sorry to hear that. It's not nice to experience these things, and no one should have to go through it. It doesn't mean they're not your twin flame. Some twin flames can be abusive. It does happen sometimes. It's very important to have your boundaries and not accept that. And then also think about, like, where is that coming from? Are you disempowering yourself? Are you hating yourself? Are you accepting abuse because that's what you went through as a child, or what is going on? Really give yourself space, because it's unacceptable. And then work on yourself with those barriers and boundaries and self-love. Will DM ever tell DF about their childhood trauma and what happens to them in childhood? Yes, usually. It takes a while though. They have to trust you, right? When you no longer care, they can open up. When you're no longer expecting and pushing on them, they will no longer feel resistance or judgment, so they will say things openly, and you won't even care. Can I feel my twin flame grief before they feel it? I feel deep sadness a week before one of their loved ones passed away. It's possible. Your intuition and your guidance is there, so it's very possible. They don't open up easily. I'm going to be ending soon because it is nearly 1:30 and I need to do my plant medicine. I just got to sleep to wake up early. So I'm going to zip through these now, okay? I know the reality of the karmic. She is so controlling, threats him, says bad things to him and his family. Why can't he see the truth? I can see the intentions. So like we talked about in this live, the abuse pattern, it's a pattern that they are mirroring from their childhood, and they have to keep getting triggered until they're done with it. And they will be done with it. Trust it. Trust it. The cup will be emptied. You do you, he'll understand it in divine timing. Exactly. I've sent a message to my DM today wishing him well. I can see it clearly. We are both not ready for our union, and I'm in peace with it, focusing on myself again. Good. And don't expect a reply. And if he does reply, it's okay. I feel I've been working on myself, but I don't see much improvement with my DM. He still chooses his wife, and he's also distracted with other women. Sorry, I want to drink a bit of cacao for that. I remember with my DM too, it took 2 years for him to fully change, which is quite good actually. It's quite fast considering he was in the depths of hell. But I remember I used to have a coach and she's like, keep going deeper, Manny. And I was like, how much fucking deeper do I need to keep going, right? Literally killing myself here, literally taking every toxin and poison in the world to purge myself, flying into the depths of the abyss in different parts of the world and doing a lot of purpose. I'm going to say that. I live, eat, and breathe purpose, like I told you. I've been moving out from one hellhole to another beautiful place, moving from another, like 3 places I moved from yesterday to today. At the same time, I've been doing my social media, I'm having clients, I've been doing my yoga, my gym. Everything else is being kept tip-top tip fashion. Obviously, I have my own well-being to take care of. And I have a job too, and I have family, and I have other things, and I speak to people. But then I'm also doing the everything, right? Doing the purpose too. And I'm not saying that all of you have to go, and I'm next level of craziness. And then you get to a point where you realize you don't need to do so much. You just need to be in alignment and be in that place of bliss and peace, right? That's all you need to be. But also do things that nourish your soul and help others as well when you feel inspired. But these questions about, when he's going to, they don't show it straight away. They don't. It's like a building being built. There's scaffolding on the outside. And often on those buildings, they have either cloth or they have a picture of what the finished product will be. But it takes 6 months or a year or 2 years, right? And then all of a sudden they unveil and it's like beautiful building, mansion. But the 2 years you were waiting, you didn't know what was going, you know? There was just that beautiful picture that looked like everything was perfect. But it wasn't. Behind closed doors, everything was being demolished and rebuilt. Let me give you a story. My DM went to Mexico nearly 2 years ago. It triggered the fuck out of me because he was doing all the naked pictures and videos and all that kind of stuff in the G-strings, jockstracks and all that kind of stuff, trying to get swimwear contracts, and I fucking hated it. Really was killing me. I was wishing him dead actually so much. And his higher self came to me all night long and just healed me of all the anger from lifetimes. It was beautiful. Anyway, a year later, he posted a picture from that same trip, but he's hugging a tree and it's a spiritual connected picture. He's wearing sexy swimwear and he's hugging a tree, whatever, and he's saying, I hate winter or whatever he said. But what it showed to me was what they show at the time does not necessarily mean what they're going through inside. They could be going through spiritual moments, but not sharing that or posting that or expressing it. You don't know what's going on inside. They're very hard nuts to crack. They have huge egos, but they get slowly chipped away from the inside. So Jaslyn Kaur, I don't know how long you've been on the journey for. I have no idea how much inner work you have done. I have no idea how much purpose you are doing. But more so important than all of that, achieving ego mind stuff, I don't know how much alignment and peace you're in and how much connected with the truth and trust you're in. Because that's a game changer. When you're not sitting at home crying and lamenting and you're living the best life and you are in alignment with God and people are carrying your luggage and buying you beautiful flowers. Did I show you the flowers that they gave me? I don't know why. They just felt like I needed flowers after my hellish time. She doesn't normally give flowers to people and she came and gave me flowers. How beautiful. So basically, Jaslyn, if you're still thinking about that karmic and him and all that and this and that and the other, you haven't got it yet. And let me give you another story. When I came back from Hawaii, I had like this thing happen to me where I just said to myself, and to my DM energetically, you know what? Do all the nudity you want. Do all the naked videos and pictures with, I was going to say, with cum on your body or whatever he used to do. Do it, all the shit you want to do it. I give you permission. I actually give you freedom. The second I said that, he deleted the craziest videos off Twitter. The second I said that. Give them permission and trust the journey and trust that they can do it. And they change within a second. You know, so many things. Like, I had a Akashic record healing and she said, you come from Mintaka, you're mermaids. The second she said it, timestamp, he posted a picture of mermaids. He's not spiritual in that way. Deep down, obviously connected. So what I'm saying to you is this. Give your DMs the permissions. I've said this before. Let them do whatever the fuck they want. Be happy for them. I even said, like, remember last year or whatever, my DM was telling everyone that he's got a boyfriend when he doesn't. And I was like, I wish you do. Have happy fun. Go be free. Give them the freedom. Then they change. And also they're distracted with other women. When you stop caring about that, because that's just triggering your unworthiness. My DM likes all the naked men's pictures and all that stuff. I don't really care. Do it. None of them are better than me, honey. You've got to get to that level of sassiness inside, which is that level of confidence, actually, and not get insecure, because your union will only happen when you're together and you don't feel insecure or jealous that he's looking at her or doing this. He won't anyway if you're at that level of love within. But if you're not, he will look that way and he will make you feel jealous, and you might do similar things to him. And what you're going to do? You're going to crack. You've got to know yourself fully. You've got to be in your truth fully. You've got to be in your power of love fully. When you walk into the room, people see the goddess in you. The DM will definitely be worshipping your feet and devote to you. Of course he will. But you can't be in this like insecure aspect of, oh, these girls and I'm not good enough. Jocelyn, I've never spoken to you on a one-to-one or anything like that, so I don't know, but I'm just speculating. Are you sure he's your twin flame? Honey, twin flames do all sorts of nonsense. Trust me. They'll keep doing it until you're done with it. Sounds magical, Maddie. Wish I was going. I see synchronicity angel numbers with his name everywhere. I feel he's my twin flame. I'm so disappointed I can't attend. I'm sure everyone is going to really enjoy this retreat. It seems like you didn't miss a detail. Oh my God. Yes. You know, I like things to be really beautiful, and hopefully I'm thinking about so many surprises actually on the retreat that people won't even know. So we're going to do some surprises. But like I said, I want to do a retreat next year in South America, either Costa Rica or Ecuador. We're going to do ayahuasca, which is tough. It's tough, people. San Pedro, which is beautiful. And mapachu, which you got to drink, which is that mapachu that I showed you, the one that I smoke, but you drink it, it's more powerful and you vomit and purge a lot, okay? A lot of negative masculine stuff you get out of your system. So that retreat's going to happen. And next year in Tulum, Mexico, I'm hoping to do retreat to do with Cambo, which is the poison they put on your back. Bufo, whoosh, straight to source, clear out all the trauma from the body, out. And Ibogaine, clear all the PTSD and addictive patterns. Big medicine, healing medicine. The Ibogaine one is more expensive, just to let you know. Start saving if you want to have a healing. I've already had people put themselves on the waiting list for those retreats. So next year, so obviously January we're going to have Bali, but I'm hoping to do South America, Mexico, maybe UK, but I'm going to do at least 3 retreats a year, I'm hoping, because it's really fun and it's good. It's good for you to purge it all out. All right. Oh, did I just turn the... Okay. All right. All right. Please do focus on God. Do meditation. Why do you want to share his childhood? He will share when he's ready. Anyway, I'm saying that this as DM. I hope I don't sound rude. No, perfect. I think that's what happened, what I've been through doing regularly. I think that's what I haven't been doing regularly. When I'm upset, I can't focus on myself on prayers and meditation. It's okay if you can't focus when you're upset. That's okay. You're rattled. So in that moment, feel it. Go for it. Burn all that shit off. Go for it all. You should do it regularly. God will show you the way. I mean, yes, we should do a lot of things regularly, right? But we don't always. I shouldn't be opening my mouth every Sunday live talking about my DM, but here we are. We're human. When you're triggered, sometimes all you can do is just hold on and wait for it to pass. Ooh la la, sweetheart. Yes, you're right. Okay. Is there any more? Because otherwise, I got punched on my birthday, 11:15 by DM. Is it possible he's not my twin flame? We talked about that, but you shouldn't allow that kind of behavior. Despite my twin flame looks actually cute, beautiful, why feel other hot people could satisfy me more? Oh, very interesting. It's very interesting, actually. There's a lot of hot candy in the world, honey. And Bali, there's a lot of hotties down here too. But it's just your level of healing because you're perhaps still in your sacral chakra more so, which is fine. And sometimes we want attention and we sometimes want that love and we want all that kind of stuff, right? And that's normal. But then you'll get to a level when your third eye opens, like the villa we're in called Third Eye, where you'll start seeing the distortions in people and the debris they're carrying and the reason why they might be interested in you. I talked about this in last week's live when I went to the gay club. Everybody wanted a piece. When I went to the straight club with the DF, everyone wanted a piece of her. You know, I couldn't believe it because I've never really partied with a DF before and I saw it in action, the tension we get. But we're not interested. When you've done more work on yourself, you're not interested unless they're very highly awakened and evolved. But even then, because everyone's coming from trauma and distortion, and they're just wanting to use you, actually. Twin flame is not. And then as you go deeper into healing and you start taking layers off, yes, the DM's not always physically perhaps who you want, and neither are you for them always. It's energetic at soul level. And if you've ever been intimate with them, it's mind-blowing. And you fit each other like a perfect puzzle. So as you do get into deeper healing, you'll realize that they are actually the only one for you that you really prefer, actually. But that doesn't mean you can't try with others if you want in the meantime and learn your lessons like they do, you know? And okay, maybe they could satisfy you on a physical level, on a sexual, physical level, perhaps. I mean, the DMs actually can fulfill you more sexually than anyone. But physically, maybe, you know, the person's got a better this or a better that, or more money or whatever it is. Maybe. That's the ego. But energetically, spiritually, emotionally, and sexually, the DM will be the one. Perfect one, actually. And it's magical. When you have sex with them, it's not a human experience. It is godly, divine, out of this world. Yes. And it's also purifying. Whereas with soulmates and karmics, you just build up on that distortion more and more. I visited India in 2008 for my wedding. Oh, wonderful. What would it mean if the DM had no baby or marriage, but girlfriend, and chooses to do now, not with DF, but also he has feelings for DF, also knowing and telling it, seems to be happy now, but was between breaking up to come home. Okay, very cryptic English there. The DF is too much, in the beginning, is too much of a big mountain for the DM to climb over, so they practice with others, and they have karma and things to learn, and that's their journey. And it's nothing to do with you personally, it's to do with them and their insecurities and issues. It is. Feels like I'm in a relationship with my DM and he isn't even aware about it. Oh, trust me, he's aware. Between breaking up with her last year to come home, now acts like she's the one. So he's obviously confused and doubting and trying to run away. And maybe there's patterns of you as well. They're doing that too, or not letting go. It's difficult to resist. Why many or some of the spiritual practice are not acknowledging twin flame? Because not everyone has met their twin flame, and not everyone is meant to meet their twin flame. And twin flame is a specific purpose, a mission, and it's very misunderstood. True twin flames are very misunderstood and vilified, and yeah, we're like a protected race. I don't know what you want to call it, but we are under attack all the time. Love your knowledge and wisdom, Manny. Wonderful. Love your laugh, Manny. Oh God. I do watch my lives back again. I find them funny, to be honest. It's all entertainment purposes, babes. You know when you call like psychics and before you get put on, they're like, by the way, we're just going to warn you, this is only for entertainment purposes. That's for the legal clause, right? I should start saying that too. I loved your birthday candle pulse. I always make my special wish and blow out my candle. Aw, love it. None of us are perfect. I think he's only interested in my body and having sex with me. What to do? In the beginning, yes, you're addictive to them physically. But they learn and they realize. Right now, I'm feeling that this whole twin flame concept is a myth. All right, that's okay. None of us are perfect. The world will be so boring. Thank you for all your videos. May you stay in abundance. We are in abundance and things are always working out and it's wonderful. And I'm going to be finishing the live soon. I'm enjoying your lives. Thank you. You are too funny. Yes. You know, like sometimes I'm serious. When I'm sitting in my little shawls in my Buddha outfit and I'm spitting out facts. I accept my message and respond. Something, silence with anger issues. All right. My is a player with women. Is it normal? He lost his career. Yeah, it's normal. And you've got the same name as my twin flame. Yes, it's normal that they're players in the beginning. They're in their ego. It will stop. They lose their careers and all sorts of things happen. You got to bring your power back. You're giving too much energy to him. Once you bring it back, it all stops and do your inner work. Can a single person in our life be a karmic soulmate and twin flame too? Can one person be all three of those things? Ooh, that's a good question. So twin flame can feel like a karmic, but it's not. Karmic depletes you, twin flame heals you. A soulmate is there for helping you just have a cushy life and get on with things. So a twin flame, if you, it depends on how you think about it. Some people say, oh, my twin flame became my soulmate, meaning like, oh, it went from triggering to being peaceful. Yes. Or my twin flame was karmic and now he's my soulmate, meaning that he was triggering and then he healed and now we're in a relationship. So it depends how you want to say it, but I wouldn't say it that way. Karmic is actually part of your story. She accelerates the ascension. True, I started to accept and let him do whatever the fuck he wants. Very good. Be a family man, enjoy his life because nothing is in my control. It's meant to be what will be. I am becoming an empty vessel. And it feels so good when you let go of all the expectations and you just chill. Let it all go and be free. Get on your scooter and sing songs like I do up and down the mountain. Right. Yay, I want to come to the retreat next year. Okay, come, definitely. Vessel, letting everything flow out. Tulum. I love Tulum. You know what? I like Bali more, I think. My DM has commitment issues. Why? Fear. Right, I'm going to be ending soon. I need to smoke my medicine. All right, we're done. Thank you. No more questions. Okay, last question and then no more. I had a dream last week that I met you at the hotel where I found out that my DM chose someone else. You told me, let him go, let him be. I was crying like crazy, but you helped me. Sorry, I don't want to laugh at your misery here. I'm just laughing at myself. Something I would say, actually. You know, it's funny, like, apparently we do visit each other. We're soul family. I'm sure we are. And I'm sure we will all be helping each other in the future, a revolution. I want to, in the future, have a cruise, twin flame cruises. And I want all of us twin flames to meet and plan things and help each other out. We've got to stick together, you know. We've got to help each other. We've got to be together and do good work and support each other and love each other and be there for each other because we understand each other fully. All right. So with that, I'm going to love you and leave you 11:11. I keep seeing 11:11 since I got here. Everywhere. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to see a beautiful healer in Bali and have a water purification, tarot, psychic, energy, all sorts. I booked every single thing that was on their list. So we'll see how that's happening. Then I'm having a Kundalini woman come to my house to do healing with me, to let go of stuff. And then the woman who owns this place wants to do an energy healing with me. So we'll see. But just keep enjoying the experience. You'll get out of the pain and the misery, and then you'll live the life where people are giving you flowers and you know how hard it is to get a refund on Airbnb? That's how easily I got it. And that's how your life should be. It should be like that. And you deserve it too. Why can't you? Of course you can. Let it in and be happy. God bless. God bless the DMs. Thank you, DMs. We love you. Bye.